Hello everyone. In this video, I want to show where to set up outposts to be able to farm every possible resource in Starfield. This video will cover the inorganic resources, but I have posted a video that covers all the organic resources to help keep these videos shorter and be able to find what resources you guys are looking for easier. I was able to farm all 45 farmable inorganic resources in the 24 outposts, but I did have to choose very carefully since it is a challenge to get all of them in only 24 outposts. You have to plan very strategically. In part 1 of this video series on organic resources, I did mention skills which are necessary and which ones are recommended to get all the resources. However, if you just went inorganic resources, there's less skills that you need. The most obvious still is rank 4 in planetary habitation. You need to have as many outposts as possible, so having the full 24 available outposts is crucial. Also, you need to be able to build outposts on any planet regardless of the environment. Rank 4 in scanning is also required, so you can scan the planet from space before you land to find the exact resources that you want to farm on this location. Some other skills that I recommend are surveying, some weapon skills, stealth, and concealment to help fight off any alien species that are hostile to you. Before I start, I also wanted to say that there is many different ways to find all these outposts, and I'm just going to show one way. This is what I've used. I'm sure there's other ways, and you can be more efficient. There are a couple outposts that I have that just have one resource, so those can definitely be folded into another one. I just didn't do it. So if you find like an amazing outpost location that I haven't mentioned, let me know down in the comments and it may make it into an updated video. Another thing I wanted to add is that I didn't try to maximize resources per outpost by searching for the biome lines to get 5 or 6 resources per outpost. I wanted this video to show where you can find resources without spending too much time wandering the planets for efficiency's sake. If you are interested in being hyper efficient, I have a video that explains how to find 4 to 6 resources per planet. Now that we have that out of the way, let's get started. So resources are broken into rarity categories, with some being unique. These unique resources are only on one planet, so we're going to start our search using those since they are absolutely required. I do want to mention that there is 2 non-farmable inorganic resources, which are aqueous hemimite and calmite, which need to be manually extracted using your cutter. Aqueous hemimite is found on Mars, while calmite is found near abnormalities or where you find artifacts, which you probably know if you've played the story at all. Also, you can find more inorganic resources than I list at many of these locations by finding the splits between biomes. The developers did code the game to have specific resources in each biome, such as frozen plains or mountains. So if you want to search and find the split between 2 biomes, you then have the potential to find an outpost location with resources from both biomes. It does take time, but it's an option if you want to manage less outposts. So the first planet that is required is Schrodinger 2. It has the unique inorganic resource of adumite. It is located here. So to make this video clear, I'm just going to go to each of my outposts and show which resources are available on each planet by going to the Outpost Builder tab to show my extractors. So on Schrodinger 2, where you can find the adumite resources, you can also extract chlorine and chlorosilines. So that is 3 of the 45 inorganic resources. The second base that also houses a unique resource is in the HnCn system, which is HnCn 7A. It has HnCn. This is where it's at. It's all the way to the far right side. So here you can farm HnCn along with cobalt and nickel, which are both very common, but it's nice to have both common resources and a unique one, because then you don't have to worry about trying to farm them elsewhere. They are highly sought after and used in a bunch of commonly crafted items, so you might want to double up and make a couple outposts that have nickel or cobalt, but don't go out of your way. We'll usually find unique or rare inorganic resources, and then as a side effect, farm the more common items. So from 2 outposts, we now have 6 of the 45 inorganic resources being farmed. So the third planet that has a unique resource is Vern 1. It has Varil. It is located here, not too far from the right side of the star map. While here you can also farm argon, benzene, and neon. So this is a bunch of gas resources, which that is 4 more. So that makes 10 of the 45 inorganic resources. So the 4th planet that has unique resource is Dakaran 7b. It has Deuterium. It is located here. Zoom out a little bit. Crits is over here, so a little to the right and down. And while you are here, you can also farm, as I said, Deuterium, uranium, and iridium. So that is another 3 from this planet, which totals 13. So let's keep going. The 5th planet that you are required to have, because it has unique resource, is Katydid 3. It is located all the way to the bottom of your screen on the star map. Create some perimeter there. So if you go all the way down, it's down here. Katydid 3 has the unique resource of Indicite, and also beryllium, aluminum, and water. Water, aluminum, and beryllium are found on many other planets, but it's nice to have a required unique planet, because you can just farm it here and then not worry about trying to find or farm them in other places. Like I said earlier, aluminum and to a lesser extent beryllium is used in many of the most common crafted items. So you may want to double up or mass produce aluminum and beryllium. Water is used on almost all the organic ones. So this is a good planet just to make like a water supply in case you have to manually drop off some water somewhere, or you can just sell it for some credits if you need some. So the last planet that has a unique resources is Carnea 3A. It is located on the other side of the star map, all the way to the upper left quadrant here. Nerion's there, and here's the Sol and Alpha Centauri systems. So Carnea 3A has Rothicite as the unique resource. Again, you can mass produce it to sell for more. And then iron and alkalites are the resources I found at this one. Iron is used everywhere. So again, it's good to have multiple outposts that have iron, and it's used a lot on some of the cargo supply missions. So you'll always need iron. So now that we have outposts on the 6 unique resource planets, that totals, if you did the math, that makes 20 inorganic resources that we currently have farmed out of the 45. So we are well on our way. Now that we're out of the unique ones, we can now kind of drop down to more of the exotic resources and kind of start farming there and pick up some more common ones and then pick up the remainders at the end. It's always good to start with the most difficult planets to find, like the more rarer ones, and then work your way down to the more common ones to be as efficient as possible. So our 7th outpost will be on Procyon 3, which is located just next to the Sol system. Here it has quite a few resources available. Water is a repeat. We have fluorine, we have tetrafluorines, and we got ionic liquids. Again, we got an extractor for water, but we also have copper, which is very commonly used. So this one planet has 4 additional inorganic resources that we haven't farmed before. And then water you can duplicate if needed. So that is 24 of them. Tetrafluorides and ionic liquids. You can end up making a subcomponent pretty easily at any industrial workbench if you want to get a little bit experience. They're both on the same planet, which is very nice. That's why I chose this planet. And you can quickly combine these two, make 99, and you can go sell these or use them for higher manufactured components. Our next planet is Marduk 2. It is located about here. It's on the southern portion of the star map. Catted 2's there. Grix is up there. So here on Marduk 2, you can find plutonium and vanadium as the 2 ones we haven't covered before. Uranium is a repeat. So there is now 2 more inorganic resources, which makes a total of 26. The next planet we're going to go to is Indum 4D. It is located close to Alpha Centauri. Here. And here they have, I chose this planet for, it has antimony and gold. You can also, this one has also copper, which is a repeat, fluorine's a repeat, and then some water. Also, interesting enough, you can extract from the atmosphere water vapor and chlorine. So make 7 for this one resource. Just this planet has harsh environmental atmosphere, so that's why you can do chlorine. But I chose this planet location to farm gold and antimony because both of those are used in semi-metal wafers. So I could just have to go to one planet to grab 2 of the main components for it. Again, go to our industrial workbench, go down to our semi-metal wafer, and gold and antimony are the 2 main components along with 0 wire. So that will have to be in a separate base, but 0 wire again is just silver. And again, we could do copper here as well. But I have copper on that other planet, so it'll just be duplicated if we want to mass produce it, which is good. Good to have options. So the next planet is Zeta Ophiuchi 1. It is located here, somewhat close to our last planet, Linnaeus, Indium, and here's Alpha Centauri, kind of south of Porrima. So here they have 3 inorganic resources we haven't had before, which is silver, tatium, and iridium. I have no idea how to pronounce that. The one with Y. So that is 3 more that we can do from this planet, along with there's some water, chlorine, and iron. All those are duplicated. So the next planet that we are going to make an outpost is Charybdis 2. It is located here in the middle of a bunch of star systems. Crits is there. If you go to the right, a few is Charybdis and Charybdis 2. Charybdis 2 has two resources we haven't covered yet, which is europium and neodymium. The next planet that we are setting up an outpost is Zeleny 3. Its location is here. Parima's up there, crits, and Zeleny 3 is here. So on Zeleny 3, we can now farm tungsten, HnCn, and chlorine, being the 3 new inorganic resources to add to our farming. Again, you can just do water. I did choose this planet kind of as a mix between organic and inorganic. It has a couple of the rare organic resources here, so I doubled up and found some HnCn and tungsten and chlorine that I can also farm here, and just make this outpost as efficient as possible. So the next planet is Jaffa 1. It is located here, right next to Parima and south or below crits. Here it has diprosium and lead, and titanium being the new unique items that we haven't covered before, and then a duplicate is tungsten. This planet is very similar to Titan, which I previously used a lot to get lead, titanium, and tungsten, but this planet also adds another one, so I deleted that other outpost and made this one instead. Our next planet is Bardine 3. It is located here, kind of up in the upper center of our star map, like right above crits about. And here, it only has one inorganic resource that is new, which is carbonates acids. I chose this planet because it also is a unique organic resource in gastrodolite. It's an animal that is farmed here. So since I'm trying to be efficient, I just duplicated what I could do here and set up some extractors for carbonic acid. You can also get argon, which is commonly used for those Star Yard supply things and a bunch of other stuff. And then water, of course, to feed the animals. So just trying to be as efficient as possible by using a unique planet to farm every possible resource that I can. One thing I do want, just a tip, is for inorganic resources, you have to actually set your outpost on location, while organic, you don't have to. Gastrodolite, the animal that actually produces it, I think is in mountains. So I went down there and scanned them, and then I don't necessarily have to make the outpost down in the same biome. I could make it anywhere on the same planet. So since I needed a carbonic acid, I made my outpost up here and then produced all my organic farming components up here. So kind of double dips, But just a tip that you don't have to actually set up your organic farming in that specific biome that you found those animals or plants in. Our next planet is Fermi 7a. It is located here, kind of in the upper right quadrant of our star map. All the way over here. This location has a couple new resources for us. It has palladium and platinum and duplicates of nickel, cobalt, and fluorine. In addition, this planet does have memory substrate, which is a unique organic resource. So I am being pretty efficient finding so many resources on one planet. If you want more information on memory substrate farming, check out that organic farming guide. This planet is kind of hard to farm it, but memory substrate is used in extractors. So definitely, if you are into outposts, you may want to do all the work to set up mass producing memory substrate. And in addition, you get all these inorganic resources kind of for free, because you have to make your an outpost here to farm that unique resource. So our next planet is Alpha Andraste 3. It is located here up in the farmost left, upper left quadrant. Sol system's down here. Alpha Centauri, and then we're all the way up here. So here we're only adding one additional inorganic resource in xenon. You can also get water, chlorine, and chlorosilines also here, which they're all duplicates. But I chose this planet because it also shares some of the more exotic organic resources. So that's why we're here. And then we're farming xenon as well. So we are now at 42 out of the 45 possible farmable inorganic resources. These last three are very flexible. I had extra outposts, so I was able to be very inefficient with these. So if you find a good planet with one of these, you can definitely eliminate an outpost or two by setting up and combining them. So this one is Linnaeus 4b. It is located pretty close to the Alpha Centauri system, right there. And I only have, this was my first outpost actually on this playthrough, and it was my Helium-3 base. I never did build another one. This has just been my one, but Helium-3 is all over the place. So if you find another planet that has some either, usually probably inorganic resource that you're using and it has helium, then you can definitely eliminate this location or combine it, or just have a different location that you like better than this one. Our next location is Beta Terion 1. It is located here. There's a bunch of stars. Parima is right there. So it's just one of these in this cluster here. So Beta Terion 1, it has lithium as the next is our 44th farmable inorganic one, but you can also get chlorosalines, chlorine, and water vapor just to duplicate it. There are a lot of places that have lithium, but this was the easiest one I found that I could also get something else. Again, I could be very inefficient with this, but you can easily find lithium paired up with some better resources to be a bit more efficient. And our last planet that we need to set up an outpost to farm all inorganic resources is skink in the Cheyenne system, very close to Aquila City. It's right there. And this has the last inorganic resource of mercury. In addition, very commonly used lead in many aspects, and silver, which is also very commonly used. So I thought this was a good location to kind of duplicate some common stuff, but still get mercury. So with that, we now have every possible resource farmable in all of our outposts. It took 24 outposts, but like I said throughout these videos, you can definitely be more efficient with either combining, like mercury and helium-3 are two of the easy ones. There's some organic ones that you could do, or like I said, you can search the biome lines. Maybe you'll just get lucky and find 5, 6, 7 resources in one outpost, and you can definitely dwindle down some of the outpost count. With that being said, I hope this is very helpful. It did take a long time for me to set up these outposts and find all these resources to make these videos. So I hope that it is very useful. If it was, please subscribe. This is a growing channel, very new in Starfield. So I do appreciate all of our subscribers. You're notified whenever I upload a new video, and it means a lot with all the support that I have that I can keep making these videos. So I hope everyone has a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.